Today we're visualizing K-Nearest Neighbours, one of the most intuitive algorithms in machine learning. No equations to memorize, just a single idea. Things that are similar tend to belong to the same group. This is part of the Machine Learning Algorithms playlist. Here's the core idea. Imagine you have two groups of labeled points on a plot. A new, unknown point appears. How do you classify it? You look at its nearest neighbors, the k closest points, and let them vote. Majority wins. The closer the neighbors, the more confident the prediction. That's it. No training. No model building. KNN simply memorizes the entire training set and at prediction time asks, who are my closest neighbors? The whole elegance is that there is no learning phase at all. Only memory. Let's walk through this step by step. Step 1. Store all training data. Nothing is computed yet. Step 2. A new query point arrives. Step 3. Compute the distance from that point to every single training example. Step 4. Sort by distance and keep the k closest. Step 5. The majority class among those k neighbors becomes the prediction. Simple, elegant, and surprisingly effective. Now, how do we define distance? The most common choice is Euclidean distance, the straight line distance between 2 points. Manhattan distance takes the grid path, horizontal then vertical. Minkowski distance generalizes both. Which one you pick matters, but there is a rule that matters even more. Always scale your features first. A single unscaled feature can completely override all others, giving you meaningless distances and wrong predictions. How many neighbors should k be? This is the most important decision. With k equals 1, the model memorizes every training point. Perfect on training data, terrible on new data. That is overfitting. With k equal to the full dataset size, every point predicts the majority class. That is underfitting. The sweet spot is somewhere in between. Use cross-validation. Start with k equals the square root of your sample count. Always prefer odd k for binary problems to avoid tied votes. When k is small, the decision boundary is jagged and complex. When k is large, it smooths out, sometimes too much. This is the bias-variance trade-off playing out visually. Let's visualize the decision boundary. Every point in the feature space gets classified by its k nearest neighbors. The regions that form are called Voronoi cells. Each belongs to the class whose training points dominate that neighborhood. The boundary is nonlinear, adaptive, and entirely shaped by your data. This is why KNN naturally handles any number of classes without any modification. Here is a problem that breaks KNN. In high dimensions, every point becomes equally far from every other point. This is the curse of dimensionality. If you want to capture just 10% of your data in one dimension, you need 10% of the range. In 10 dimensions, you need nearly 80% of each axis. The neighborhood concept collapses. So before using KNN on anything with more than 20 features, reduce dimensions first with PCA or UMAP. Standard KNN gives every neighbor an equal vote. Weighted KNN gives closer neighbors more influence. Weight equals 1 over distance. A point right next to the query counts far more than one on the edge of the neighborhood. In Sklern, just set weights equals distance instead of uniform. This usually improves accuracy with no extra cost. KNN shines on small, low-dimensional datasets. Recommendation systems, anomaly detection, medical diagnosis, and image recognition baselines. Its main weakness is prediction speed. Every query scans the entire training set. Use a KD tree or ball tree to speed this up dramatically for large datasets. And that is K-Nearest Neighbours. No training. No parameters to optimize during fitting. Just proximity, votes, and a boundary that emerges entirely from the data itself. If this helped, hit like, comment, and subscribe. See you in the next one.